How's everybody doing today? My name is Shannon.
I'm Carrie.
I'm Ryan.
And today we're going to talk to you about the importance of becoming an organ donor. Together we can save a life. By a show of hands, how many people in here are actually an organ donor right now? For those of you that are an organ donor, I don't think you realize the importance of what you're actually doing. You can save a lot of lives being an organ donor. Actually, you can save up to 8 lives. And not only that, you can enhance the lives of someone that needs an organ. There are 2 types of organ donations. One is the donation of your body when you die. Of course, that broadens the amount of organs that you can donate. That would include your heart, your lungs, your kidneys, your liver, and your intestines, as well as other tissues and blood also. You can also be a paired donor, which in that case you'd be paired with somebody of the same blood type. You could donate a kidney and still function perfectly fine with your other one, and also donate a portion of your liver, which would be transplanted into somebody that has the same blood type as you, and that little piece of the liver would grow back in yours and also form a perfectly healthy liver in the recipient. For those of you that are not an organ donor, I'm not sure if it's because this is a conscious decision that you've made based on a misconception that you may have, or maybe you just didn't realize that you could be an organ donor so easily, so we're here to tell you that that is not the case. There are thousands of people in need of organ donations, ranging from terminal illnesses, from infants all the way to adults, to even seniors, or car accidents, as well as other freak accidents, people in the military, people who are donating their lives to us. We can give back and donate life to them. There are over 123,000 people in the U.S. that are currently on a waiting list for an organ donation as we speak. Each day, 4,000 are added to that list, so as you can see, the need is growing exponentially. 21 people in Massachusetts alone are dying from the lack of an organ donation. And as you can see, organ donations are in really, really short supply. And now, Carrie will take it away and explain the importance of organ donation.
Thank you, Shannon. I'm going to start off with a video that really explains the true importance of organ donation. All right, so the statistics that Shannon just told you and what you heard in the video are really shocking. It's sad to think about how many people in the world are living knowing that they need an organ and it's just a waiting game. They don't know if they're actually going to get it or not. But you can make a huge difference because you can be that person who can donate. Again, organ donors are in really short supply, but you alone can save up to 8 lives and enhance the lives of 100. If you make the choice to be an organ donor, it's really rewarding, and anyone at any age can become a donor. So it's extremely easy to become an organ donor. A lot of people think that the only way you can do it is at the DMV. You have to wait in really long lines, but that's not true. You can register online. It's really easy. You basically just answer a couple questions, you check a box, and you're all set. It's very quick. There's no long lines, but if you are at the DMV, you can do it very easily. If you're signing up for a license, for example, you can just check off the box. So there's a lot of myths out there about organ donation. Is anybody here who isn't an organ donor who decided not to be because they heard something that kind of deterred them from it? All right, so what were you told?
I was told that if I'm an organ donor, they're not going to work as hard to save my life because they're going to want to take the organs out of my body when I pass away.
Right, that's a really, really common one. I've heard that one too myself. The first priority of the doctors and the first responders is to save your life. You are their only priority. Organ donation is not a factor until death is declared. Another myth would be that if you have an illness, you can't donate. That's not true at all. No matter what kind of illness you have, there's organs in your bodies that can still be used to save lives or enhance lives. Another myth would be that your family would have to pay for your organs to be donated. That's not true at all. There's no fee. The only fees are paid for by the recipient. Families might think that They are being charged because when their loved one dies, they get a bill, but that bill is just for the last efforts to save your loved one's life. Another myth would be that you wouldn't be able to have an open casket funeral if you had an organ donated. That's not true. Doctors leave minimal incisions when taking out your organs, and anything that is taken out is covered by clothing. And now Ryan's going to explain the benefits of organ donation.
There are many benefits from becoming an organ donor. You can save a life. Not only that, you can save the life of a loved one. Families of organ donors typically find comfort in knowing their loved ones have saved lives. What if it were you in need? You can make a difference. There are 2.5 million deaths every year in the US alone. Imagine if all those people were organ donors. Remember, one person has the power to save 8 lives. 2.5 million times 8. You do the math. So give it some thought. What if a family member or best friend needed an organ? What if that organ never came? How would it feel knowing someone somewhere could have saved their life, but just because they didn't take the initiative to register, that organ never came? You have the power. Register today using this link. Check out true stories of organ donors on the web. Think about the lives that you can save. Live on through your recipient.
All right, let's see how long that was.
I can definitely talk much slower.
So we're at